something new that you started talking about with AI that's really coming down the pipeline pretty aggressively, that we can either kind of shut our doors to it or understand it. And so, from a practitioner lens, first of all, thank you for studying it because we need to understand it. I think it reminds me of how social media schools attempted just to shut our doors and imagine that it didn't touch our school or touch our kids, and wow, years later we found the effects that it's had. And I think we're taking a more intelligent approach with artificial intelligence and figuring out how to understand it and understand its effects and understand the positive impact that it can have if it's used well, and get ahead of it. It seems like the studies are all over, even the meta-analyses are all over the place. Some I've seen have been 0.51, some up past 1.0, some have been retracted recently in the spring. Tell me, what's the difference for that variance right now?
Believe it or not, I've already got 50 meta-analyses on the effects of AI. The overall effect, as you say, is pretty high, 0.5 plus. But what's happening at the moment is that we're looking at what we've been doing for the last 40 years. Like, as a measurement person, we've been computer scoring of essays for 40 years. Suddenly, people have created AI engines to make that more available to teachers. So what's happening at the moment is a lot of the AI tools out there are doing what we've been doing for many years, and that's okay. But I want to turn it on its head and say, what can it do that we couldn't do before? Like, take the work on feedback. We know incredibly about teachers giving feedback. We know incredibly about how kids receive feedback. What we don't know, and this is where AI can make the difference, is how to have that conversation, that dialogue in the moment about feedback. There are no tools that do that. They're all about improving the feedback to the kid or the teacher. But I also want to look at another aspect that truly bothers me here. There is a massive backlash against AI, and sometimes for very good reason. AI can be a very negative, disastrous implication in the same way social media can and has been. And that puts the fear in people, it puts the fear in many to say, I'm not going to use it. And so what I'm looking at is saying, what are the skills that we have to teach our students and our teachers to effectively use AI? Take the most obvious one, probative questioning. Now, I already commented, we don't teach kids to ask questions. They ask 2 per class a day. Do your walkthroughs, count the student questions. They're absent. That's hopeless on AI. Kids have to know how to ask the right question and how to probe afterwards. What about quality control? Like, Tom, who's in charge of quality now in your school? Who chooses what's going to be taught, how it's going to be taught, when it's going to be taught, for how long it's going to be taught, the particular methods of teaching, the assignments, the assessments, the grading? The teacher. On AI, that is the exact opposite. We have to teach the kids not only the probative questions, but is it right and wrong? Is it good enough? The evaluative question. We have to get the kids to say, how do I seek the feedback and have those conversations? And I think these are the skills. And so I'm asking you and your listeners to say, how do we actually teach those skills so kids use AI effectively? Because just putting a kid in front of an AI and saying, hey, we're going to do what we've been doing for the last 50 years just to better, is not going to make much difference. And in fact, it's going to lead us into some problems. I really do think, and I think same with social media, we should have been teaching the skills of using social media 10, 15 years ago. We didn't. We got into a discussion about banning it, not banning it, and we let it loose. As you know, Australia has banned it for kids under 15. It's not having the effect we wanted to. The major reason? The parents are allowing their kids. A third of the parents allowing their kids to have their access to social media. And they're finding ways around it. It's too late. The genie's out of the bottle. Right now with AI, I really ask us to think about what skills we need to teach our kids and our teachers to use it effectively, and then we can mitigate the negative side and, as you say, incredibly benefit from the positives.